you doing? My name is Charlie Carter, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the benefits of fully manual vintage lenses as opposed to electronic native lenses. And this applies really to any system, but today I'm going to be focusing on Panasonic because I use the GH5, so I'm going to be comparing the manual set of lenses that I own, which are these Carl Zeiss Contax mount lenses, compared to the Panasonic own branded electronic Leica lenses. Because recently I bought the 15mm f1.7 Panasonic Leica because I needed a fast wide angle lens, and then unfortunately the only downside with these Carl Zeiss Contax is there is wide angle lenses, but they're not all that fast. Upon instantly unboxing this Carl Zeiss Leica lens and just feeling it and playing around with it, it instantly reinforced why I don't like these modern electronic lenses. Now, the disclaimer, right? I'm not putting these lenses down. They're great lenses, but for me, they're great lenses for photography. That's one of the main reasons I bought this lens. I'm going to London at the weekend, and I don't want to have to manual focus when I'm just taking quick pics around London. I might use it for video, but only for establishing shots. I'm certainly not going to use it to film people. So let's get into the reasons why. If you haven't used these older manual focus for fully manual lenses, you really can't understand the difference. There's just a massive difference in the quality of the build for one. These Zeiss lenses, these are built like a tank. They just ooze quality. The focusing is just so, it's like silky smooth. It's impossible to, you can't compare the focusing on this lens with even the Panasonic Leica. That's still fly-by-wire, and I don't care what anybody says, fly-by-wire is never ever going to be as good as mechanical focus. It's just never going to be as good. Some problems with it. It doesn't, you know, you can focus at one speed one time with fly-by-wire and you'll reach a certain focus point and you can't repeat that move because it's electronic. Other problem, you know, you can turn the camera off, turn it back on, and the focus is not the same as where it was before. Fly-by-wire focus is just garbage for filmmaking. Some people might disagree with me, and I don't care because I've owned a number of fly-by-wire lenses and they've all eventually ended up getting sold. This 15mm that I've got, I'm going to use it for the trip to London. I might use it for some establishing scenes, but it's never going to be a main lens of mine. Never, because the quality just does not come anywhere near. They're in another league. So as I say, I mean, I'm talking about these Zeiss contact lenses. There are lots of other choices out there. There's Canon FD, SMT Pentax, Minolta. There's a load of vintage fully manual lenses that you can get, but I'm going to focus on these Zeiss lenses because these are the ones I've got and these are the ones that I know and love and I'm never going to sell. Why should you care about these Zeiss contact lenses? Well, number one, they cover a full frame sensor, so they can be adapted to any mirrorless camera, Sony, Fuji, Panasonic. Number two, these Zeiss Contax have a very similar optical design to the ZE and ZF range of Zeiss lenses at like a third of the price. So you're getting like really high quality glass, high quality build, made in Germany or Japan. They're equally as good. It's ridiculous value for money. You know, let's compare as one specific example, the 42.5mm Panasonic Leica Nokitron f1.2, which people think is a great lens. I haven't actually used that specific lens. It may be a great lens, but look at the price. It's like over £1,000 UK. You can get a Contax Zeiss planar f1.4 in mint condition for about 250 quid off eBay. All right, it's 0.2 of a stop slower. It's not electronic, but it's like a quarter of the price. That over £1,000 Nokitron is still fly-by-wire. Do you really want to pay 4 times as much just to have 0.2 of a stop quicker lens and autofocus capability for filmmaking? Personally, I don't. I mean, I think if you're making films, the GH5 is not known for its autofocus anyway. I mean, why on earth would you buy the Nokitron? I just do not understand it. Another benefit of these Zeiss contacts is they have the T coating on them, which is the same coating found on Hasselblads, on Super Speeds. It gives a more organic look to the image. These lenses are a steal. You'd just be crazy not to consider these lenses. I've already touched on this, but the focus, I cannot emphasize how good the focus is. It's ridiculously smooth, you know? I don't know why my voice went that high then. It's just like, unless your main activity is vlogging, I don't understand why anyone will feel that the autofocus is really, really important. If you're making narrative films, if you're doing wedding videos, if you're doing wedding videos, maybe autofocus might be quite important. I've shot weddings with these Zeisses, and because I'm so fast at focusing on these manually, I don't really care about autofocus. I think it's one of those things, if you haven't tried fully manual lenses and you're not used to them, you don't realize the difference. If all you've ever used is native electronic lenses, you don't know how good these actually are. Like, it's the difference, in my mind, using these compared to using native lenses for filmmaking is like the difference between driving a Ferrari and driving a Skoda. You know, it might sound like I'm exaggerating there, but seriously, that's how much of a difference I notice. Just to reiterate, really, you know, I've got nothing against electronic native lenses, nothing whatsoever. For photography, they're great. They're light, they're small, you stick them in your pocket, you know, but for filmmaking, I just cannot use native lenses. I don't understand why anyone would want to use them. These are for photography lenses, fair enough, you know, they're not cinema lenses, but they feel like cinema lenses. Or they're a lot closer anyway than the model electronic lenses, which are just light. They're focused by wires, horrible for video. For photography, lightning fast, love it. For video, awful, truly awful when you've used these. The difference is night and day. That's gonna do it for this video. Yeah, hopefully there'll be some discussion on this video. This is just my opinion, but I have tried both, and I never use electronic lenses for filmmaking anymore. Never. And I never would. Ideally, I would use cinema lenses, but I can't afford cinema lenses. And these truly are the next best thing.